Welcome to our Wellness Hub. My name is Moni C. I'm your host and mindset coach. I help women who need direction, confidence, and purpose by giving them actionable tools to improve their lives. I also interview experts in the field of health, wellness, healing, and mindset to offer additional support for people in their journeys of healing and improving their lives. Today, we have a very special guest. Her name is Nadege Saysana. She helps women stop binge eating. Nadege, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your knowledge with us. Tell us a bit about yourself and what are you doing to help people from around the world? The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, first of all, for having me, Marisi. It's so good to be here and to chat with you. So, yeah, a little bit about myself. So, as you said, today I help women who binge eat and who want to stop change that behavior. And why I do this? It's because that was my story. For 30 years, I was stuck in this loop of deciding when the day was starting, today I'll be good. I'm not going to have any snack. I'm not going to have any bread. I'll just stick to my food plan and I'll be good. And by the end of the day, I couldn't take it anymore. I had restricted myself all day long, and I was just reaching for one cookie, one bite, and then telling myself, oh, I've already ruined it all, so I might as well finish the whole jar of cookies, and I'll start fresh tomorrow. And that lasted for 30 years. So now I found the solution. This is why I have decided to help like-minded women, women who have the exact same issue as I used to have, so that they see that it's possible to live completely differently.
Absolutely. And you mentioned when we talked the other day, people say, oh, when I get to this level, I'm going to be happy. When I quit my job, I'm going to be happy. When I get a promotion, I'm going to be happy. But it seems like happiness never comes. What do you think is the problem?
Yes, such a great question. And that was my issue. For so long, I thought, okay, once I have the husband, once I have the two kids, the boy and then the girl, and once I have the cat and the flat in Paris and so on, I'll be perfectly happy. And that day finally came. I finally had my second child, which was a daughter, and it took us 8 years to have her. And then I was still binge eating. So I realized, okay, that's not the issue. Changing my situation, having exactly what I've always wanted, it doesn't make me happy. So how come? What's wrong with that? And I thought, it was the food. I should change the food then. If I'm overeating, it's because of the food. But it's not about the food. It's really deeply about how you think and how you feel. So it sounds a bit abstract like this. But basically, you could picture yourself, as having, it's as if you're stuck on a TV channel, and a TV channel that keeps telling you, you've messed up today again. You shouldn't feel this way. You shouldn't behave this way. You've been bad. And look, you've got so much to do already, and you're already behind. And that TV channel is not helpful at all. So it's not about the food. It's really about this internal dialogue that you have that's not helping you. That's really what makes us miserable. That's what we need to change if we want to be happy. It's possible.
Yeah, so it's the way you think. It's a mindset. When was the exact moment? The moment that you had your daughter, that you said that's
Yes,
it?
exactly. Yes, I think it was, I so expected to be, to be finally happy, and as a consequence to stop binge eating, that I was really surprised. She was there, she was so cute, and I was so happy, and I was super proud of finally having my two kids. And yet I was still binge eating. I was still, making sure nobody heard me when I went to the kitchen at night, and, opening the fridge as silently as possible. And then, folding the wrappers and putting them in the bin, and cleaning the chocolate, crumbs around my mouth. And yes, I couldn't think, I couldn't understand what was happening. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to stop this. What's wrong? That's when I understood that it was not about the food. I had been trying to diet and to change the way I was eating, the kind of food I was eating, the quantity of food I was eating for 30 years. It didn't work. So that's when it finally dawned on me that, okay, I need to change something else. If it's not the food, what is it? It's not exercise either, because I had done that. I'd run marathons, didn't work. So that's when I finally looked into what else is there. And that's when I found that, oh, it's the mindset piece. I never thought about that.
And so what did you start doing? What did you start thinking, or how did you shift your
Yes.
mindset?
Before shifting anything, I started exploring. I started understanding, okay, because it's just like, you know, a GPS. If you want to go to point B, you have to start where you are, which is point A. So I started exploring, okay, why am I doing this? What's happening in the evening when the kids are asleep and the house is quiet and my husband's gone to his Aikido session? Why do I keep going to the kitchen? And that's when I started to understand why I was doing this. It's really this you know, this moment of awareness. If you have this moment of awareness, I like to link it to, you know, switching the light on. If you're in the dark, you can't see anything, so you can't change anything. But once you finally see the light, which sounds a bit,
That's how
but
it is. That's
once
how
you
it is.
finally see what's going on, then you can change something. You can
Mm.
reorder the piece of furniture in the room. You can make it yours with the colors, the decoration that you like. So that was
And,
really
and you help mainly women, right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay. And so what is your process?
Yeah,
Everybody's different, but what do you follow in your
right.
sessions?
Yeah, so I follow the certification I was in. So I learned coaching, life and weight loss coaching with the Life Coach School, which is based on CBT. Basically, it's cognitive behavioral therapy. And I worked for the Life Coach School for 6+ years, coaching 8,000 sessions. So this is really the foundation of what I do with my clients. But also I added some mindfulness practice because we need to understand and we need to also enjoy the food, you know, sort of be mindful with what we're eating so that we feel satisfied much earlier. And also, I've been recently certified in havening techniques. And havening techniques basically use the touch, the sense of touch, to bring safety to the brain. Because sometimes you can tell yourself, oh, I'm doing fine, everything's okay, but you don't, your brain can't hear it if you're feeling unsafe. If it's as if a loud alarm is ringing in your brains. You need to put yourself into safety, and the touch helps with that. And also, right now, I'm being certified in hypnotherapy because, as you said, everybody's different. So there's no one size fits all. So I like to have those different tools that complement one another so well, so that yes, at some point we can do conscious based coaching. And then we can shift to more body based modalities. And then maybe we can go through to the unconscious. And all those are beautifully interconnected and really helps you experience a shift, a small shift, but a long-lasting shift.
Absolutely. And it's more holistic, it's more complete.
Yes.
It's not just a conscious level, but also, as you said, at the subconscious level. Now, do you think you can give us one tip, practical tip, that people who are binge eating can stop their behavior
Absolutely.
by taking this one tip, choosing
Yes.
one tip?
Yes. So one thing you could be doing is, I don't know about you, but ever since COVID, I'm washing my hands even more than before. And so that's something quite simple that we all do throughout the day several times. And what if we use that moment to actually check in? So we're going to wash our hands, we're going to rub our hands together, which basically is one of the havening moves, a havening touch. And so as we're putting soap on our hands, we're rubbing our hands together. That brings safety to the brain, and that's super simple to do. And at the same time, we can take a deep breath. That helps also the body calm down. And we can ask ourselves this very simple question. Maybe the answer is not as simple, but just the question can be simple. What am I feeling right now? How am I feeling right now? And we can make it easier by posting if you're at home, and you can post, you know, a feelings wheel. You can find plenty online. You can, you know, stick a feelings wheel next to your sink so that you don't have to overthink. You can just have a look and pick the emotion that sounds the closest to what you're feeling. And that's it. You can also ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling this way? And that will be a deeper exploration, which is going to be so fun, so fascinating, but you can stop there. And by doing it several times throughout the day, then you're not going to end the day like a pressure cooker, you know, there's just like, you're about to explode because you didn't pay attention to what you were experiencing throughout the day. But if you do it several times a day, it's going to be like, you know, a shaken pop bottle. It's very ill-advised to open it in one go. But if you do it several times, one after the other, it's a bit like hearing that shh, and then leaving it, and then again shh. And that's what we do when we reconnect to ourselves with the touch, with the breath, with asking ourselves, what am I feeling? And maybe also, if you want to go deeper, why am I feeling this way?
They sound very simple things to do, but they work. They are quite, and the goal is to release negative emotions. And I think at the end, but the first step is actually, as you said, awareness, becoming aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, and expressing them. That's wonderful. And now, where do they contact you? What is the best way for our audience to contact you?
Yes, thank you so much for asking me. So the best way to find me is on my website, which is called milobingefix.com, Milo, M-I-L-O, bingefix.com. And this is the best place where you'll see the women I help, I work, and what life looks like when you stop finishing the cookie bag or the ice cream tub. And if you like this conversation, I know I did, then you're going to love my free masterclass, which is called I Just Ate Dinner. Why do I want more? And you can sign up for it at milobingefix.com/masterclass. And I'd love to see you there.
Wonderful, wonderful. The masterclass. You heard Nadege. And yes, I guess at this point, what we need to do is accept. Sometimes we don't want to accept the situation, and we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, you know what, I have to stop this. And it's very important that you don't continue if you have this issue, because it's something that you can hide to the world, but you cannot hide to yourself. And the more time that goes by, the bigger the baggage. You heard Nadege. Nadege, time just flies when you're having fun. And thank you so much for sharing your story. We have to invite you again because it's a very important issue, and we need to, what you're doing is improving the lives of women around the world. It's quite inspiring, and I thank you for, on behalf of all these women, don't stop doing what you're doing, and we hope to see you again.
I'd love that. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, and until next time.